Condo prices have been going down in Toronto since about April of 2022. But the question that a lot of people are asking me now is, well, what's it going to take for them to actually go up again? Now, good condos that are in great areas with good floor plans are still selling. But there's a whole lot of inventory sitting on the market now that is not moving. And I know from conversations I'm having with my clients and even people just like in my immediate circle that are saying like, hey, when's it going to make sense to grab that condo again as an investment? Have prices dropped enough where the numbers actually work? And right or wrong, a lot of buyers want to stop seeing things go down before they enter the market. Because you don't want to buy a condo and then the price continues to drop down, right? Everyone uses that phrase, catch a falling knife. You don't want to be the person that does that. And a lot of people, at least from my experience, they'd rather kind of see prices rebound a little bit, start just going up a little bit instead of going down before they feel comfortable to enter the market. So in this video, I'm going to tell you all the things that would need to happen, not all of them together, but maybe just a few happen at the same time for us to actually see price growth in condos. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tom Storey. If you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like and get subscribed to the channel. You can also book a call with our team in the first link below. We are very active in the Toronto condo market. I wrote down a few things here that I think would need to happen for us to realistically see condo prices go up again. I'm not convinced all of these are going to happen, just to be clear, or even that they should happen, but I think they would need to happen to start seeing price growth happen again in the condo market. The first thing is obvious. We have to have less for sale. If there's less for sale, and there's just as many buyers, that's when you start seeing prices move up again. Our inventory level right now in terms of everything for sale realistically would need to be cut in half. We need to have an inventory level of months of inventory in the city of Toronto for condos of 3 or lower for an extended period of time. I would actually say the number needs to be under 2 to start seeing real price growth happen. So if we have a months of inventory that's under 2 for 4 to 6 months in a row, that's when you absolutely will start seeing pressure on prices to go up. But inventory doesn't just magically come off the market. It has to be bought, but if buyers aren't agreeing with the price, then it's going to sit there. Or sellers need to be more realistic about lowering their prices right now for it to start moving and being cleared off the market. So it's almost one of those things where like sellers need to be more realistic at dropping their price now for that the future condo market to start picking up again as buyers are being more active and actually purchasing these units. The second thing that needs to happen, I think is already starting to happen, it's been happening for a long time, is the price of homes. When I say homes, I mean freehold properties, needs to keep going up, or at least the gap between the average condo and the average semi-detached or detached property needs to keep growing. It's already grown over 30% from 2019 till today. If that gap continues to grow, although I'm well aware that with new mortgage rules and all the other things surrounding the market right now, people want this type of property. But if the gap continues to get bigger and bigger, at some point in time, like I'm just not convinced that freehold properties come down in price. I just don't think that's what everybody wants, and there's not a lot available. But if the gap continues to get there, then people won't be able to afford to buy this, and they'll start looking at those bigger 2-bedroom condos as an alternative. And that takes a buyer that would have been offering on a house and brings them back to the condo market. So again, that's not ideal for that specific person, but there is a reality of like, if you move the demand from here and bring it over here, there will be more active buyers in the condo space. The third thing is the monthly cost of ownership difference between renting a condo and buying a condo. And you still have to have the down payment, but there's a lot of renters right now that probably have the down payment, but have just decided like, I'm just not going to do it. It's still like $1,000 cheaper. If condo prices do slip a little bit more down and a renter with a 15 to 20% down payment is looking at the numbers, at the end of the day, when you look at the actual loss costs, which I would qualify as the interest payment on your mortgage, your condo fees, and your property taxes, that's money you're never going to get back. That compared to what you're currently paying in rent is actually pretty close. In fact, it might be lower than your current rent payment, but it's still going to cost you more on the ownership side because that other section of your mortgage payment is principal. So the difference is going to be there. It's still going to be more expensive. I don't really think we're going to see a moment here, at least in the near future, where it's going to actually be cheaper to own a property on a monthly basis than rent. But the difference was significant. It used to cost so much more to own. It made so much more sense in the short term to rent. As it gets closer, I think a lot of people that were renting are now coming into that first-time home buyer category. They will then create demand for that kind of lower end of the condo market. And if that happens, that brings more demand, more buyers to the market, which could eventually, over a period of time, push up prices. Now, the first thing I talked about was active inventory, but what about new inventory? If we really think condo prices could go up in the future, well, we need less new buildings coming to the market. We know how many new condos are coming in 2025, 50,000 units in the GTA. Now, they're not all downtown Toronto, they're spread out, but there's still a lot coming to the market. Well, what about the future? What's going to happen in the future? We need less of these new buildings to come to the market. And I can tell you, this is already happening. There's a lot of conversation going on right now with the condo investor side of the market saying like, hey, just hang tight. Even though there's a lot on the market now and there is more coming, there's nothing that's been pre-sold that's really coming to the market 2027, 2028, 2029. We could go into the future. Not a lot has sold right now. So it still needs to get to a point where these buyers are actually buying this new construction product so they can put a shovel in the ground. Remember, they can't start building until they've sold out 70% of the building. And my final point would be lower interest rates. It is what it is. If money is cheaper to borrow, that brings down the overall stress test. It could help more people enter the market. But I will put a big caveat on this, depending on exactly what happens with tariffs. Like if there's a massive tariff shock here in Canada and the Bank of Canada has to do some emergency cuts and bring that overnight rate down really, really quickly because people are losing their jobs, that doesn't mean condo prices will go up. So lower rates on their own, if they come down just naturally because inflation's under control and Bank of Canada is comfortable with the number, that could be a thing that gets more people into the market, and not just end users, but investors could start entering the market again if that were to happen. Now, I'm not a betting person. I wouldn't bet on anything. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I think or don't think is going to happen. These are just all the things that realistically need to happen, not all together, but one or two of them at once at least, for the needle to actually move for condo prices again. Because I'm having this conversation with potential condo sellers and even buyers. They're just a little bit like uncertain or nervous to enter the market right now. There's a chance we look back at 2025 and go, damn, I probably should have bought a condo then because prices started really moving up by 2027, 2028 because not a lot of new inventory was coming to the market because nothing was pre-sold. Or there's a chance we go, hey, I bought in 25, but I should have waited until mid 2026. That was the actual bottom of the condo market. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you I know exactly what's going to happen. What I will tell you is I'm very active in the market. People are transacting, but for prices to actually go up again, there needs to be less on the market. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Tom Storey, and remember, home is where your story begins.